All right, so a couple weeks ago, I posted a video. I called it "A Day as a Photographer," and it was pretty much a behind the scenes of me and what it looks like when I go out and shoot photography. And in that video, I talked about how many raw photographs I capture, which is what I bring back home, and then from there pick what I'm going to edit, and then that's what I'm going to give to the client. That's on the photography side. So let's talk about the video side. So when I do video, when my main focus for the day is going to be video, I use three cameras, and each camera serves a specific purpose. I love to shoot Panasonic. I just feel like throughout the last few years of using them, they are really dependable cameras. Never failed me, never overheated, and just as long as I have memory and battery, they continue going. So I love that. That's a definite must for me as a professional. So the way that I have them set up, each one serves a specific purpose. But let's start off with the storage. So each of these GH5s, I have two GH5s from Panasonic, and I also have a Panasonic G9. This particular camera, so it has two memory card slots. I'll keep a big one and a small one in it. So a small one, what I call small, is 128 gigabytes. And the bigger one is going to be 256 gigabytes. So the bigger one is going to be twice as much capacity as the smaller one. The reason why I do that is the main card is the bigger one. And then if I need just a little bit extra space at the end of the day, that's when this camera will switch over to the smaller one. But in rare occasions, do I really need that? But I just like to keep, for safety reasons, in case one card should go bad, I have the other one as a backup. So this particular one is my wide shot. This is what, for example, in a wedding ceremony, I'm going to set up in a part of the room where it's going to encapsulate like the entire scene. It's going to capture the guests and the altar where the couple is going to be receiving their sacrament of matrimony, or where the ceremony is going to take place. But I set it up in the room in a way that it just captures everything. So that's the purpose of this camera. On this camera, so a wedding ceremony can be anywhere from 40 minutes on a fast one to like an hour and 20 minutes. On the big card, the 256 gigabyte, I use 10-bit color in this. I get about 3 hours of usable footage. And then on the smaller one, on the 128 gig, I get just a little bit under 2 hours. So in total, between the two cards, I have about 4.5 hours of total footage that I'm going to bring back home, and then pick what I'm going to edit from there. So that's the purpose of this camera, wide shot. This one, I'll pretty much just use it for the ceremony and for the first dance, or the daddy-daughter dance, or the mother-son dance. So that's the purpose of this camera. So it's only going to be used for, the dances and the ceremony, just 2 times of the day. And that's going to be it for this camera. So the storage that I have in here is more than enough. So my other setup is this guy right here. This is my other GH5, which I have caged up with V-mount battery for a longer running time. So same thing with this one. I don't ever have to worry about battery, because this battery has 4 little LED lights to tell me how much battery I have left. I'll leave home with it on a full charge, and by the end of the full day of shooting, I'll come back with like 3, on a longer day, 2 bars. So I've only gone maybe at the most like halfway through this battery. The purpose of this camera right here, this is going to be a little bit more of a tighter shot, and this is something that I'll keep. Like, I'll keep that first one that I showed on a tripod as a wide shot, but I rarely have to move it. This one I'll come back to every now and then, and maybe like focus on different parts of the room as the ceremony is taking place. So this one I'll use it during the ceremony, and then I'll use it again during the dances. During the dances, I do the same 3 camera setup as I do in the ceremony, just to have different angles to play with and edit from. But at the same time, so the first camera only gets used twice, the ceremony and the dances. This camera gets used at the ceremony, the dances, and then every now and then when I need to for example, go in the middle of the dance floor, or sometimes what I like to do is put the couple in the middle of the dance floor and go around, have the guests make a circle around them, and we go around them. I'll be going around with this, because it's handheld. I can play with it and move it around just to give the video different effects, different look in every situation independently. So I'll use this camera a little more than the other one. This one, same thing, 2 memory card slots. I'll keep a bigger one and a smaller one as well. What do I have? Here's a 256 gigs. This one, so the first camera, I'll use up maybe like total 2.5 hours of footage. This is what I come back home with on that one. On this one right here, I can come back with a little more, maybe like a full 3 hours of footage, just because, I grab it more than that one. So that's it for this one. And then the third camera that I use is my G9. This one, also from Panasonic. It also has 2 memory card slots, and I'll keep the same capacity cards in it as the other two. But this one right here is like what I hold the entire day. This one it gets used even before the ceremony. This is what I'll pull with me when I pull up to the let's say, for example, I do the bride preparation where hair and makeup is taking place. This is what I'll use to capture that behind the scenes, those candid shots, like to capture everybody that was there with the couple, with the bride, from the beginning of the day as the bride was getting ready, bridesmaid shots, all of that. Or if it's a quinceañera, like when the young lady's getting her hair and makeup done as well, I'll do like little detail shots. I'll be walking around with the gimbal in different parts of wherever room that's taking place in. And then once I'm done with all the preparation shots, all the detail shots, then I'll pull this back out at the ceremony. And I always try to beat people there, whether it's to a church or wherever the ceremony is taking place. I like to be the first one to get there, just so I can talk to whoever I need to talk to inside the church or the location where that ceremony is going to take place. And I like to communicate and see, where can I set up my cameras? I have this camera and 2 other ones, which are my angles. So that way I can do that beforehand, so that by the time I'm done setting up, I have this in my hand. And as the people are arriving, I can follow them, from the moment the car arrives to the moment that they're getting off of the car, and as they're walking in to the church, to the ceremony. And I use it during the entire ceremony. I like to walk around with it because I already have 2 other cameras on tripods. So both of those cameras, I know they're running and I know they're covering different angles. So I have 2 angles right there. And this right here will be my third angle. This is the one that gets moved around the entire ceremony. So I'll start off at the preparation, hair, makeup, get those shots. Then I'll go to the ceremony. And then I will film my arrival to the venue after the ceremony. After the ceremony, we'll go to like a park for a photo shoot and a video shoot. And that's where I get like all my nice cinematic shots, where I use all the knowledge that I have of angles and everything. And then I'll put the other 2 away. And as we're shooting there at the park, wherever that may be, I'm just walking around and getting like behind the scenes. And I'm also getting planned cinematic shots with this on a gimbal as well. Then after we're done with that session, I will go to the venue, and this is what I'll use to record all my establishing shots. When I get to the place, I'll get the front of the place, and then I'll go inside and get any detail that I can. I don't ever say to myself, okay, I've done enough. I record as much as I have all the memory in the cards. I just try to use as much of it as I can. It's always better to come back with a lot and have a lot of material to choose from, rather than it happened to me in the beginning. And from that one time that it happened to me, I was like, it's not going to happen to me again, which is where after I turned in the final project of the video, I had a couple asking me like, hey, there was this shot that I think you recorded. And I was like, I had to tell them, no, unfortunately I had to record that moment. And then from there on, I was like, I cannot be putting myself into this position again. So from now on, I just record, you know, everything. And like, to me, like, since I've done it so many different times, I feel like it's an easy process for me to sit and choose my clips that I'm going to edit. And then from there, you know, but it's a lot easier to do that than to get home, open up your footage in the computer and realize like, damn, I don't have enough, you know? So on this camera, I will pull maybe like 3.5 to 4 hours of footage total. And that's what I come home with, and that's what I edit. So just a little bit of a recap. So the first camera that I pulled, I mentioned that I use it twice in the day, at the ceremony and during the important dances at a venue. Total time, I'll pull like 2 to 2.5 hours total of footage on this camera. Camera number 2, I'll pull a little more because this is going to be used at the ceremony, at the venue during the dances, and maybe a few handheld shots at the dance floor. This one's going to be like 3 hours of total footage that I'll come back with. And then my gimbal setup, this guy right here, this is going to be more on the longer side. So it's going to be anywhere from 3.5 to 4 hours because I use it, you know, preparation before the ceremony, at the ceremony, and then at the park after the ceremony, and then at the venue. And this right here, I'll be walking with the entire day. I'll get candid shots. I'll get, you know, guests arriving. Like one of my most favorite type of shots that I like to get is when somebody arrives and then they come and greet and hug either the couple or the quinceañera. And I like to capture all that. And because I noticed that those type of shots right there, when I turn the final video in, people like that. They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you captured all that. Like everything looks so beautiful. And I like hearing that. I don't ever like to get questioned like, hey, there was a moment here, you know, where I think you caught it on video. And then I'll be like, no, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. But I'll record, you know, as much as I can. I'll record the tables. I'll record like a glass. If I see a glass on a table that looks nice, I'll record that. If it's some place that has like nice chandeliers in the ceiling, I'll go and record the chandeliers. I'll do like a little half spin, and people like all that stuff, you know. And it's like, damn, you really captured all that. So I'll be like, yeah, sucker. I'm just kidding. I don't talk to people like that, but yeah, I mean, you get the point. Your experience might be a little bit different than mine because you may not have 3 cameras like I do. But at the end of the day, I want to say if you're only rolling with one setup, my advice to you would be to get like the biggest possible memory card that you can get so that you can have plenty of storage for a lot of footage. You know, it's always better to have a lot to work with, to pick and choose from, than to come back and realize you should have captured more and you didn't, you know. So if you only have like one camera, then I would say you're looking at a full day's event. I would say you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 hours of total footage, which is going to be around what's going to give you like enough material to produce a video like I do. Like I mentioned before, I like to deliver a 1 to maybe 3 minute highlight video, as well as a full documentary of the entire day, which is going to be anywhere from like an hour to hour and a half. And by, you know, this many times that I've done this, like I just calculated, and I feel like those numbers right there, the total footage that I capture in a day, is what gives me everything I need to be able to deliver a good final product. And that's just it. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, like I said, you may not have 3 cameras like I do. You might only have 1. But just to give you an idea of what you expect as you start exposing yourself and being out there, remember, capture as much as you can, capture as much footage as you can. Don't ever think for the client. Don't ever feel like, should I record this moment right here? Nah, I don't think they want that. Don't ever think for them, because it's always better to surprise them. Like what I like to do is I like to surprise people, you know, as I'm communicating, hey, your video's ready. And once I deliver it, like I'll shoot him like a cool text message, like maybe a couple days later. Hey, I hope everything's good with your video. You know, I hope you like it. Look at, I'll give them, for example, like look at 20 minutes, 36 seconds. I caught you doing this, or I caught, your brother doing this. And they wouldn't realize that, maybe they watched the whole video and they didn't catch that. But once I mentioned that to them, they'll go back and just laugh at it, be like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Thank you. I can't believe you caught that. So that's what you need to aim for when you create a video for somebody. Man, I hope this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. That's all I'm going to have for you today. If you liked it, please remember to hit that subscribe button, like it, share it, do whatever, send it to your bald-headed granny, do something with it if it helped you. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that you got some value out of this video. So, man, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. By the way, I'm testing out a new mic right here. I'll be on the lookout for any comments to see what do you guys think about it, if it sounds cool or not. I'm still like playing with it. So let's see what comes up. But thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.